To call and to speak to Kellie, use these numbers. Dial 605-472-5765. Then dial the access code 608060 #. Then to join the session, which will be awesome. Congratulations, you are now ready. Tell everyone we expect 1,000 people listening on their phones from all over the world.
This is a Pyramid One International Network presentation. Good evening, and welcome to Conscious Speaks. Let me tell you a little about the host. Her name is Kellie J. Wright. You all know her. Tonight, be a part of the conversation. What it means to truly love yourself. Free of judgment, fear, ego, pride, and jealousy. She says, we learn to undo what we have accepted or taken on as part of our perception of self. We are free from negative self-talk. Start a 90-day transformation, and she will assist along your journey. Whenever two or more are in his presence is how this works. Kellie's ebook is how she walked her mind out of doubt and fear, one blog at a time for 13 weeks, into loving and acceptance of self. The first step is the hardest, and it will become a way of life. Once we know we can free our thoughts from fear, the work becomes a staple item to the goodness it provides. Life is a gift. So make sure you choose to wrap yours in a world that is created by and lived on your terms. Kellie J. Wright is a successful radio show host, self-love transformational guide, business owner and voice, and author at www.internaljourneys.com. Kellie is on a passion-filled mission to help individuals discover their own truth through her actualized process called the 90-Day Transformation. Now, may I introduce to you, the audience, to the entire world, to the universe, to the light, Kellie J. Wright.
My hand cube. Oh my gosh, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Bob. How are you doing today?
Oh, we're doing just fine. We had some storms net around here and that today. I mean, I'm looking at what I have. I wrote you a little note too, and that we have a meter on here, and that like we had lightning and everything else, and everything going pow. And I'm looking at the meter, and the meter died. So I'll have to fix that tomorrow.
I don't know what that means. What does that
there
mean?
it goes. There it goes. There it goes. It just came up. Believe it or not.
Oh, good.
Only when you talk.
I know what the meter is. When I talk, it came to life. I know what the meter is, but I wasn't sure exactly how all the equipment works. You are the mastermind behind all that. So
it just hates me. That's what it is.
It loves you. It loves you. What it loves is balance, right? So when I came in, it balanced, right?
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah.
We
That's what I'm going to go for.
We also have people in that overseas that are listening to us right now. They
hello
called
overseas.
Indonesia.
Ooh,
And
Indonesia.
they had written into me, and they said, we keep trying to listen to you on they read that they see the the main site, www.pyramid1network.com. They see that, and they read that, and they get some of the recordings and stuff that's on there, but they turn around and said, well, we want to hear the show. And I said, well, guys, come on, man. It was so funny.
You want to hear the show? Okay.
Oh yeah, and I got it. But half of what they write back, I have to put on a translator when it comes back. But that's okay. That's really cool. Fine. But
it's really cool, and it's super beautiful.
Yeah, the funny part about the whole thing was when everything came back and we were talking back and forth, the guy goes, "Oh, thank you very much from the gods."
From the gods,
yes,
right? Spirit, exactly.
Yeah, so definitely, I always told you, I have friends up there, so no problem.
Friends in high places.
Yeah, very, very high.
That's good. It's good to have friends in high places, so I'm glad that we're friends. Everybody who's out there listening today, thank you, first of all, for listening to Conscious Speaks Radio. Today we're going to key in on that word, we were supposed to have a very special guest, Dawn Avery, and she has had to reschedule her show today. And so we are spirit-led. We believe that everything happens for a reason, so we always look to see what is happening. So I was just meditating through the show thinking, what amazing is going to happen today that Dawn's not going to be on the show. It also was a really good opportunity for me to try and do something that I wanted to do, which I'm gonna work with you guys here. I'll have you be my test rabbits or my test ears, because we're working on playing songs. And I told Dawn, I said, I'm going to talk a little bit about how Dawn Avery was introduced to me through a mutual friend, Larry Mitchell. He's a Grammy Award-winning producer, acoustic guitar phenom, and hopefully we'll be able to have him on the show at some point as well. And but he works with Dawn a lot, Dawn Avery, and they have a new CD, Beloved, that is a group effort with a Sufi Persian artist, and I just friended him yesterday, Bahar, and so I was really excited to have them on the show to promote Dawn's new CD. Well, their new CD, it's a collaboration, right? And they have this amazing whirling dance that is on stage with them. It's always a production with Dawn, and she is always working to these high levels of art and entertainment, and to bring spirituality to life and to shed light on a lot of things that are going on in the world with love and saving planet Earth. She's Native American, half a Mohawk Indian, and so there's a lot of that Indian background that comes out of her Native American works and songs. She also produced a CD with Larry called Rapidly Approaching Ecstasy, which is chakra work, and I have used that CD. I'm 6 years into my spiritual awakening journey, and I have used Larry Mitchell's and Dawn Avery's CD, along with Sarah Christine's music throughout the whole journey. And so I'm just looking forward to having her come back on the show. She needs to reschedule, and we're looking forward to having her back. So anybody who tuned in specifically to learn or hear about Dawn today, she'll be on the show soon. We just need to get her rescheduled, so we're pretty excited about that. And I'm going to try, at some point, I try and play a song, because it's one of those things what Bob said about the meter, and I just kind of blanked out. It's one of those things where I'm trying to learn how to be more open to that type of skill set. And he said, am I right, Bob, that you said, first of all, is there someone on the line?
Yes, there is.
Okay, cool. And then we're going to grab that call. Let me just preface this really quick. That if I may, so I can play a song from my computer here in Ashford, Washington, and then everybody can hear it like you were playing it from there, right?
Should. If your computer's working correctly, yes.
Because what I thought as I troubleshoot with everybody here, if I have those songs open, then I should be able to just click on it and play it, as long as I play it from my iMac, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but let's put it this way, okay? If something happens and it gets a little messy, in a way, I
Yeah.
might have a backup. I'm working on it right now while we speak.
Okay, because I know that I shot those songs to you, but I wanted to try and do that from here since we get in trouble. We get this free day. Don Avery's not going to be with us today, so I thought, well, I want to try that. And what better way to try it than with our friends and family that we grow and live out loud with at Internal Journeys and Internal Narcissist Conscious Speaks Radio.
Yeah, well, when
Oh,
when you sent me those files that came over, they all came over in Apple.
yeah, well,
And this
I
is
am again
Windows.
letting you know that
So-
I need your help as much as you could always give it to me because I might have friends in high places, but I don't have them when it comes to the computer. That's all you.
I've seen strange miracles. So
Wonderful. Well, let's do. I just want to go ahead and regroup here for really quick second to say everybody who's out there listening. Thank you for listening. Indonesia, oh, I'm so excited to have you on the line. Thank you for listening to Conscious Speaks Radio. I feel like it says that you found me through Pyramid One, so if you have a question, you could type that into Bob, and he'll be able to read it to me if you have a question. And today's going to be a freestyle show like we always do. We're going to follow spirit. I've had a great week. We've got a caller. I asked Diana to call in. I wanted to give her some time to talk about her journey and her day, and just we're gonna have a fun show. So sit back, relax, and you're gonna get to grow with me as I try to play a song from Dawn Avery, her new CD, Beloved, pretty soon. Not right now though. So I will ask to talk to our caller.
every phone's going on off around here. Okie dokie. Who's on line 206?
I think that would be me, Diana.
There we go. It be her.
Yay! I sent Diana a text right at the beginning of the show, and I said, can you call in today? And I said, Dawn had to reschedule, and I'd really love it. I just feel like I want to ask you to call in for some reason. So here she is. Thank you.
Hi. Wow. Yeah, I was really looking forward. I am looking forward to Dawn Avery coming on. Kellie had posted some of her posts recently, and for some reason I hadn't looked at them until yesterday. But oh my gosh, what a beautiful, mystical cellist she is. Her music is so truly amazing. I ended up writing this whole commentary on it, of course, because I always have so many words to say. But it was just so beautiful. I mean, at first it's like this deep, beautiful cello, and then it's like you're dancing along in the woods, and she has this background music, and then it goes into those deep, melodic, harmonic tones that slip in inside of the notes, and it's just like, this is truly amazing. Like, it is so cool. So I really look forward to when she is going to be on.
Right. Thank you so much. I knew that you'd be able to give some passion to this because you, as a musician and a dancer, have this beautiful connection to spirit, art, music, movement, and you were immediately all into feeling the flow and the power of her music. And is this the first CD that you've heard of Dawn Avery's?
Yes.
Yeah. It's mind-blowing, isn't it?
I'm blown away.
She has the most beautiful voice. I've been listening to her for years, like I said, and she is a spiritual healer, and I've used her music to meditate through water work, dream work. If anyone out there is listening, if you Google Dawn Avery and you go to CD Baby, you can check out her new CD. Also, you can also find some of her other CDs. Rapidly Approaching Ecstasy. I cannot talk about that enough. The chakra music, and also she has a CD that's called 50 Shades of Red, and that was the CD that's prior to Beloved. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, it is pretty steamy. It's beautiful.
Wow.
Diana, when you were watching, did you listen to her music or did you see the video? Were you able to see the dancer that's called Whirling? Did you see that dancer?
I didn't see the dancer. I saw the beginning of the video.
Okay.
But I didn't. I'll have to look at it again. I think I was so blown away by the first part of it that I had to write my commentary.
Well, and then I put a couple different links out too, so you might have clicked on one that didn't have the video with the dancing. So
okay.
It's pretty cool. What I'd like to do, Bob, if you are not busy tending the meter, is try to hit play on one of these, and we're all growing together to see if I can play one of Don's CDs.
Go ahead, I got you.
Don's songs, and I'm going to choose Circling. So bear with me, everybody out there. Let's see if we can play. It's from Beloved, track 2, called Circling. Okay, so you think it won't let me play because I'm on the phone? Because usually it plays when I hit this button, Bob.
Some of them are, and some of them won't. I'm hitting it too, and it's not playing over here either.
Okay, so that's going to be a little bit of a block. This is a great learning experience, and I always say everything happens for a reason. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Can you hear it?
Nope.
Only I can hear it?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm trying to play Circling, and we're doing some growing work here. I'm going to turn that off. What happens, everybody who out there's listening, is I am in Ashford, Washington. I do this show remotely. It's a miracle to me that it happens at all. If you're listening, Bob will let you know, because he's familiar with this, that I live in one of the most remote places to do a radio show in Washington, and he's in Florida. So I wanted to do some troubleshooting, and
How's this?
And now Bob's got it working. I can hear it. So now you can hear it. I can hear it. It should be. Diana, can you
That's
hear
your
it?
song, Circles.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Moments I see you from the corner of my eye. Your soft voice whispers in my ear, sweet nectar of your scent in the wind. Wait many lifetimes for you, circling, circling, circling all around me. I feel you circling, circling, circling all around my head. Circling, my heart's so open, I'm afraid. So tender, yet so eager, I could jump or run away. Long, many lifetimes for you. Yes, I've been long, many lifetimes for you. Circling, circling, circling all around me. I feel you circling, circling, circling all around me. I feel you circling, circling, circling all around my head. We're getting ready, you for me and me for you. Call off the search, already found. Waiting this lifetime for you.
Dawn Avery, and it is on her new CD, Beloved. That is my first favorite song from that CD. And Dawn Avery, when that cello comes in, it just literally goes through me. I had tears. This journey that we go on in a transformation journey is a self-love journey. And we learn to love ourselves by deconstructing fear. We talk about circling all the time, how we circle parts and patterns of our lives to free ourselves, right? We're circling in moments, you know, the rotation of the earth is a circle, the sun, you know, the way that we move in a secular year, a pattern, a calendar. And so I get really emotional because I've been with her on this journey through a couple different CDs, and this one to me is so empowering because she's like waiting to remember you, right? And when we do spiritual work, some of us who our path of belief is we are here to remember what we forgot. And so I get emotional when I hear this part where she says, I'm waiting to remember you. It's like, you know, that person or that place or that thing that you're imagining is coming, but you have to be able to be it to remember it first. So I get really emotional when I hear circling. Are you still there, Diana?
Yes, I am.
What did you think of when you were listening to the song?
Oh my gosh, you can just hear through her music all of the different circles. You can almost just get lost in them. It's like the circle, and what you were just saying about how we circle patterns and different parts in our life, even from long time ago, things that we even think that we've processed already, and then they come circling back.
You just gave me spiritual chills through my whole spine and arms because I'm thinking of something you just sent me recently, and I'm thinking of how true that is, right? It will come back. It will come back. These little pieces of us will circle, right? We talk about that in the ninth week of a 90-day transformation, right?
Yes, it's parts of pieces.
Yeah. When I'm sorry you didn't get to see. You will love it being a dancer. The aesthetics of how this whirling, this dancing, this circling is part of the performance. And when you're listening to her singing, and Larry's there on stage, Bahar's there on stage, Dawn's there, and it's at Joe's, they're opening their CD release party, and it's all the colors of love, like it's this purple, all these shades of purple, which is the highest color you can go in spirituality, and that's the color for the album, the theme, and the whole place is dark, but you have this beautiful dancer, and she's in this all-white outfit, and it's a costume, a Sufi costume, and she's whirling around, and you hear her, like you said, you're right, I never put that together, but now I think about it, you do hear the circles in that music. Is that something like a language that I don't know? Diana, Bob, can you circle like when you're creating the music? Because I heard it.
It depends upon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would say it depends upon what you actually mean or what you mean. I mean you, not the word, not the thing. What do you mean? When you were saying that before, one of my songs on my first album was "Life is a Circle."
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, what I thought about at that time was everything that you do in life it goes around. It really does. What goes around comes around. When you get old, I mean, and I'm realizing it now more than ever. I mean, the older you get. When I wrote the song, it was I was about 20. I guess that's just yesterday, but but it was it's one of these things that you actually, as a young man, and that I was thinking about what I'm again thinking about now. So again, I made the 360. The things, the values, the love, the universal feeling that you have for everyone, that you have when you're young. And then somewhere's in the middle for somehow, I mean, you skip over that part. And
You're
then you
talking
get,
about the rubber band again. The
there you go.
trajectory.
There you go. And I'm not. You thought I was kidding with the rubber band. I'm not kidding.
No, I knew you were serious. I was just giving you back.
Yeah, but then you get to that one part that you start getting older and you get over that 60 mark or 70 mark or whatever. There's a lot of people out there right now that listen to this place that's 60, 70, 80 years old. The thing is that when you get to that part, now you're thinking about everything you thought of when you were 20.
Yeah. You're looking back.
And I just hope and I pray, and from the bottom of my heart, I hope no one says to themselves, I should have done.
No, we work on that a lot in the transformation where we try to change that should right away. It's part of a language that we retrain. There's no should because we couldn't have. We can only do things the way that they happened.
That's
and
right.
they happened because that's the only way that they could, so we honor it. Now, we must learn from our mistakes. Once we know better, we have to do better, right?
You are not kidding. Oh.
You know, I love it. You said something, Bob, at the beginning of that where you said it depends on you, and you
Yes.
were going towards your placement, and then I was going to literally a placement in real time too, because I'm like, where our vibration and frequency is going to really open up to how we connect to a song, because I could feel what I was connecting to. I love, and Diana knows we talk about circles a lot. Everybody, does, but we talk about circling at internal journeys a lot, because that's how we bump up, is we find a little pivot to get through that circle to grow through and grow up. And I was thinking, yeah, I'm in my mind, I'm listening to it, and I was circling. So depending on where you are, you may hear a circle or not, right? Right, Diana?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna do.
It is all about circles. I did really relate to what Bob was saying about, the older you get, the more circles you see coming through in your life. But I think the thing is that as the circles come around, when you experience them again, you're in a different place than you were before. Like when you were 20, you were simply, it's still coming around to the same circle, but now, being older, you're in a different place experiencing that circle.
But still,
does that make sense?
Yeah, but still in the now.
But
Right,
always in the now.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is that calendar, that secular circle, right?
Uh-huh.
Because we really are. We're traveling. And on Earth time, we have a calendar. We follow it. We're always going to digress to, we know time's not real. We know it's an illusion. We know it's man-made. We know it's created. But that's how we run down here. And so we run on this 365-day calendar. And I think I just read somewhere yesterday that there's not 24 hours in a day. There's
23 and something. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's so cool. I love it when that stuff happens, right?
It's getting shorter.
Somebody rounded up a long time ago, and we all believed them, right? And that's how this place is built.
Yep.
So when we're on that calendar circling, at the beginning, we're really nubile. I have a new friend, Art, that I'm chatting with that works similarly and thinks similarly to the transformation work I do, and hopefully he'll be coming on the show at one time. He's got a really cool project he's a part of, and I will just caveat that for later. But we're talking about the way that we circle back in life, right? So we're going to circle back, and we're born, and we talk about it. Everybody knows about it. Our psychosexual development, what happens in the first 8 to 9 months of living, for the first 1 to 3 years, 1 to 6, 3 to 6. Those are our major years where we're informatively being fed how to live through our caretakers. And this is not a judgment. This is just how we raise people. We raise them from the knowledge of our own base. What our spiritual growth is, who we are, helps build a platform for our children to stand on. We bring them into our family. We raise them up with love, and we guide them from our own knowledge base. And so as we start interacting with others and going out and learning from that base how to decipher and take things on ourselves, we start to mix the different knowledges. And eventually you get to that place where you are 20 and you're out on your own, right? And you are out there. We talked about this a couple shows ago. We're out there living. We're being however we're being, right? And we don't notice the parts that we're creating that we're going to circle back when we're 49, as I am, or when we're 62, right? You're like, oh, that, I remember that, right? You're like, oh, okay. And that's what I hear when we hear circling. Anybody want to add anything else to that?
I would definitely say been there, done that. I mean, seriously speaking, I mean, it's what it is. Good example. In fact, I was going to show you. If I had, let me get my marker. If I were to do that, this piece of paper, which you can see, okay, that is the universe. Okay, now I'm going to put you on the.
So it is a flat planet. I'm just joking.
No. But I'm going to let me. I'm going to put you on the universe. Can you see you?
Yeah, but I think I'm smaller than that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's you. That's you on there. Now let's take the 360. Okay. Now you take this little speck of energy, all right? You build it, you grow it, you make it stronger, you make it believe, which is what her album is.
Yeah,
is
right?
believe. Okay, you go through all those years, okay? Now I'm going to show you the 360. When you're all done, you have all that knowledge, you know what you want to do, you know where you've been, you know the whole thing. You know more than you think you know, in a sense. You want to see you in the universe?
Sure. Yeah, it's...
There's your 360. You're still the same person. You're still the same thing. The soul is still the same soul. It still is regulated by energy from the universe that makes it just lust for life.
Right, and in whatever frequency we're feeding that lust, whether it's a negative or a positive, and lust doesn't necessarily, I can speak, necessarily mean carnal, right? It's just a passion. It's just how we explain an intense feeling. I wrote something this morning, and I think I'm going to share it.
That was good.
It says, oh, thank you. Change your frequency, change your life is a quote that we have in Internal Journeys. And what I wrote this morning was, what are you combining to create your meaning? Meaning the combinations of thought, intent, words, and action or reaction that design and decide its sequencing. Your life sequencing. It is a sequence of vibrations that create your life and shape karma. The infinity loop of now and purposeful duality will creation of life. So to be a symbol of karma, perfect your self-love frequency. This is how we indicate a new beginning or indicate the end of a chapter in life. And you think about those two little dots that Bob drew the paper, or the one dot that symbolizes the beginning and the end of your life. And we do come and we grow, become very big here. We have a blog at Internal Journeys called Big. It says some souls are big enough to love the entire world. Only it's these little bodies that we are pulled into, and we come into when we first come to this planet to learn how to walk, stretch, crawl, right? We come into to be down here so we can connect up close to each other, right? Yep.
Sounds like one of my shows. And how your spirit can be in 20 places at the same time.
And so, but when you're here, we really want it, that big part of your life, because we come in small from zygote, from birth, right? The connection of egg and sperm, zygote, that bam, that connection of life. It's so small, and that's this big life force that's coming and growing through. And when we leave, that same force is leaving, but it's just through an older body that's it's done its earth walk here.
You're doing your continuance. Don't forget that.
Huh?
Don't forget that.
You're doing leave our Earth journey.
No, you're doing. Yeah, but
we never die in my mind. But you know what? Everybody's welcome to their own belief system. So I kind of leave that open a lot, because we have listeners in every religion, some known, some not. To this show, I work. Internal Journeys is non-denominational. I've had people come to me and want to work with me, but we've had conversations about religion, path. I've spoke to husbands to make sure that wives weren't going to become, men bashers. Everyone comes with different set of knowledges, right? We were talking about at the beginning of the show. We're born, our family raises us, and we have all of these different softwares being downloaded to how we're learning to prepare to be in the world. And so we don't have all the different ways to perceive life through other people's eyes. I do the work to do that. I've spent my whole life trying to be able to put myself in everyone else's shoes to see through all the eyes. And so with no judgment, just complete open and love. So I can work with anyone, because when we work at internal journeys, we're working on love and fear. And love and fear comes in every language. And it's an emotion that can be used, and we talked about it in the quick little writing that I did this morning. Anything that we react to or that we're running to or running away from is an action. And how those actions are perceived is how we connect them to our internal dictionary that we have built into our cycles, into our circles, right? And so once we do become our beloved, which really is the full journey at Internal Journeys, once we learn to seat our soul and become our beloved, really love our body, love our temple, when we can seat ourselves in this beautiful matter, then we really get the keys to the kingdom. We get to start living and growing and being that beloved. I, a long time ago, realized that I am my beloved, and my beloved in thine is my sacred union. It's something, we don't know all these things at the beginning of Earth. And so that's however you connect to yourself, however you connect to your spirit. It's interesting that the show, we were able to go from cycles and circles and to talk about birth, and to see Bob can hold up a card to show you your place in the universe. And I really want people to remember sometimes that, and Diana can attest to this because she's doing this part of the work at Internal Journeys now. And I had another client talk about this morning, when we really get to take that hat off and go, oh, it's not all about me, right? Oh, maybe I do want to look at some of my behaviors and see, I used to be the biggest card carrying, that's just who I am. That's who I am. And when you realize that that's really a different perspective, then cool. you get another set of keys to the kingdom. I'm always going to talk about that. We have many doors. There's many rooms in my Father's mansion, right? So there's many keys to these doors. And you, by checking in, by being curious, curiosity is a doorway. Are a part of that at Conscious Speaks Radio. If anybody has a question, call in. Diana, do you have anything that pinged during that talk I was just kind of going on?
Oh, so much.
Good, go for it.
Do you really want me to?
Yeah, you got it.
You got the speaker, you got the floor.
Okay, so you're talking about like seeing through the eyes of others, and I believe that in my spiritual work, everything does come down to love and fear, and we're talking about cycles and circles. So just on a personal note, yesterday at Mother's Day, so I have this experience that triggers me, right? My daughter brings up a comment from my ex-husband that he saw my rock painting, my artwork on Facebook, because we're connected. I wouldn't say we're Facebook friends, but we're connected on Facebook. And I hardly have any communication with him. And it's like, oh, wow, he saw my artwork. So immediately I formed this expectation of, because this is a trigger for me from all of the past, circling way, way back in the 90s. I thought maybe he might have something good to say about my artwork, right? No, it turned out to be, it was like some comment on dementia and saying, I noticed she posts really late at night, and if there's any possibility of developing dementia or Alzheimer's, it's really good to have a regular sleep schedule. And I just got thrown against the side of the wall. I was just like, what? And of course I had this expectation, because I thought he was going to say something nice about my artwork, because he's a fine artist and he's successful and everything. And it's just always been a thing. I'm abstract and he doesn't understand it. And I'm like, I got really offended and just realized, I wrote Kellie this morning and said, well, I just blew through the 4 agreements in 30 seconds. took it personally. I was not impeccable with my word. I totally reacted. I made assumptions, and I did not do my best. Well, all in 30 seconds. I'm like, shoot.
You know it, but you knew you did it, and you caught yourself. Don't forget that you're learning that you did that, right? And you reached out and you shared it. That's no judgment or shame. And I'm going to tell you, as I've told you through our work, our marriages, even when people get divorced, it's not like you're just not together anymore, especially if you have children. You're married forever.
Yeah.
It's just you're not with that person. And if someone you look up to was never able to validate you for their own reasons, nothing to do with you, we're still, it hurts, right? I mean, I just have to tell you, I love you for sharing that because it's real. And sometimes we'll still look to find that because we think, oh, maybe it'll change, that person will change. But it takes a lot of work, as you know, to change. Like, my aunt told this to me during my second 90-day transformation. And that's what, you know, you just went through it. And it was harrowing for me because I was in the middle of a relationship and working with, I feel like, a lot of father issues in that. And I was just, like, so, like, out there. And my aunt was like, you know how hard this work is for you, and it's not hard. So just imagine how hard it is for the other. Because the person that I was trying to talk to with my newfound skills of communicating and speaking my truth, that I was so excited about, I don't care if I do this wrong. I just want to talk. I want to talk it out, right? I was always the shut down person. And, you know, stone cold. And, I said, it looks like I'm throwing acid on his face anytime I try to get him to communicate with me. And she said, it probably felt like that, right? And so you're doing all this great work, and it shows. And you're still human, and it still hurts sometimes, especially with someone that we pledged our life and heart to. You know, it didn't work out.
You know,
but
there is.
And in pieces, like, remember Pieces, week 9? Anybody we imprint on becomes a forever spark in our internal DNA. They are categorized with the stories of our life, the fireworks, the ups, the downs, and those little memories. They're going to come back around, like we were talking about circling. Like Bob said, the older you get, the more circles become, and it's like, and they'll catch you off guard. But with this work, you're like, oh, yeah, okay, that kind of hurt, but oh, I caught myself, right? And you're.
Yeah, I could have had a. Like the response that you just had, I mean, I could have had so many different responses. My question that I was going to ask about that, though, was that, like, okay, it was offensive, though. Like, on Mother's Day, when my mom is, you know, in her last stages, dying from Alzheimer's and dementia, we're planning her service. It's just like, for him to come up with this comment at this point on this day in this context, it was offensive. But I'm always the peacemaker, and it's like, okay, I realized what I did spiritually. I realized I could have reacted differently. And what your response, Kelly, was, like, I should have said something more like along those lines, where you can still be truthful. You can say, you know, hey, that really caught me off guard. That really, I haven't had any communication with him, and for him to not, you know, even acknowledge anything, what I'm really doing, and give me medical advice. He doesn't care about me. I know he doesn't care about me. Like,
well, I don't ever want to say that, because I think once people love each other, they did the best they could, and that doesn't go away. It just becomes something else. And sometimes that what he said, he might have thought was being loving. I'm not on his side, you know how that, but I can always flip things and see him. And some people don't know how to really say, hey, I love you, I might be worried, I want to check on your mom, right? And he doesn't, and a lot of times people, if they're not in your world, everything you're thinking, that you're processing really in light speed, because you process really super quick now too, those people haven't thought about half the connections you just connected that to in that pinpoint, because it was personal for you. But the person, we have no idea what he meant, but we know that it hurt, right? So whatever we attach other people's comments to is our stuff inside. And we might never know. And I had a really big breakthrough with a client 2 years ago. with something similar, and about misunderstanding something that was said by her father. And I was able to show her in a different light what that might have been if it wasn't attached to the pain, and she looked at it from adult eyes and looked at it in such a different way that she was able to go, oh, because some people just can't communicate, especially men, right?
Right.
And so we're going to go straight to fear, because fear wants to derail us. Fear wants us to go, oh, Diana, get upset, right? You're doing such good work. You're so, you've done all, you rarely use me anymore, right? So fear wants to find that place to dive in and harbor in and go back to the painful things. And go, right? And the truth is, when we can really sit and process it, after a minute, right? We all are human. We can go, you know what? I have no idea why he said that, and that he even said it at all. Probably meant they cared enough about something, right? And maybe didn't know how to use the words.
Right.
I could be totally wrong, but I'm just always trying to look at going, I know for a fact, because I've studied humans and humanity and people and relationships for so long, that people we don't have, unless you do deep work, we don't know how to speak our truths in real time, and we don't even know what they are half the time before we do this work. We're reacting, we're in fear, and we hurt people on accident a lot, and unintentionally, because he didn't say that to you personally. It was delivered to you from someone else, right? So he probably didn't even know that you heard.
Oh no. I'm sure he has no idea, and that's what kind of gets me about this whole thing, is because I know better than this. I have learned better. I know better. He didn't mean anything malicious. He just does not have it's even self-admitted. He doesn't have the ability to really love another person the way that most people kind of do. I'm not going to say the word normal, because that's not right. But, I mean, he didn't mean anything malicious by it. My poor daughter didn't mean anything malicious by it. I know better than that. I know when something is triggered in me, there's a truth inside me. I'm still circling back around, looking for some kind of validation in him. And it's like, I know better than that. It's like, ugh.
I really want to put I know better on the same shelf as should, and push them way out of our inner dictionaries, because the truth is, until we do, we don't. And that's why this work is a practice. And I'm going to tell you, nobody can break your heart more than your mom, your dad, or one of your ex-husbands or wives. Because when you get married, nobody gets married, you get divorced. My aunt laughs at me. She said, well, some people do sometimes, but you know what I'm talking about. We get married because we have this idea of what it's going to be, and nobody knows, because no one told us, and none of us are really properly prepared, because we didn't realize that we needed to love ourselves first and not expect anything from our other, so we could love them properly, so we could love them by looking and observing them and going, wow, you're so fast, I don't need you to be anything else but you for me to be completely happy for the rest of my life. Most of the time we get married, we need something from someone. We're looking for them to act a certain way, dress a certain way, be a certain way that we feel fits our idea of what we're looking for. And that's attached to many different things. One of the most fascinating things I find is looking at this and being able to see it and feel it, and that's what you're doing. You're seeing it, you're feeling it, and you've already moved to like forgiveness and the most important thing, and I'm just sorry, we're hand walking yourself to your third transformation, is we work on self-worth in the third transformation. It's literally, you're going to walk right out of yourself and walk back in by the end of that one, and you're going to go, holy cow, we talked about this on the show that Don Avery was supposed to be on. I guarantee you, look back at this and you'll go, I did it. I don't need anyone's validation, and I honor you for caring about me enough to say anything, right? It's fun stuff.
Yeah.
And you rock, and you do great work, and you're awesome.
We got another caller.
Well,
do we? Good. And then I'm going to try and play another song by Don Avery in a moment. But yeah, who do we have?
There you go. Now, Deanna, I'm going to put you on mute. So don't worry about it. You're still there. Okay, who's on 509?
Tim.
Hey, Tim,
Hi,
how you
Tim.
doing?
I'm doing pretty good, but the whole show, Bob, I get Kelly a little bit, and it cuts out. That's why I finally called in. I'm not getting you today. Just all I'm getting is Kelly a little bit, and then it beeps out and comes back.
Huh.
Well, luckily Bob does magic, and so by the time it goes out to the podcast, he'll have it perfected.
Yeah, sometimes it's just the internet of where you are.
Yeah, it could be. You know, I'm right up so high in the mountains that I've got just about the limit of where you can get anything.
Oh, my goodness.
Tim's at one end of the mountain range here, and I'm at the other.
Oh boy, I tell you.
I didn't get you at all today, Bob, and I really love your comments, so I'm going to have to watch it on repeat, which I do anyway. But what Kelly said about partners, I've been with a lot of partners, but I never found the woman that I really wanted to marry, except the last one. But then we had long distance, and it just didn't work. But, you know, every one of my ladies I've been with are still close friends. We just grew into different spaces, you know?
But there's nothing... Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, Tim. That's actually, you know, really, seriously. I mean, if you can keep everything together in that, and even though there's two different spaces in that you still feel the same way, that's awesome.
Yeah, because
I'm sorry,
you know, I never found the right woman, but I would have got married to the last one, except the distance in relationships. But it's still good to hear you guys.
I'm keeping my mouth closed on that one because I'm so rooting for you guys. But what I wanted to say, and I'm never surprised this stuff comes up, because about being in several different relationships, so have I, right? I got married at 28, which I think was late, a late bloomer. I was divorced a year later, and so it threw me out of the whole... I was in San Diego. I finally relocated to, you know, just get out of town and relax and open a new branch for my company down there. And I spent a lot of time away thinking, you know, about things. And I realized when I would go out, everybody who would, I hate using this word, but who would hit on me was really young or older. There was no one my age. And then it took me a while to go, oh, that's because everyone my age is married. Right, so I kicked myself out of my sequencing, right? We're talking about sequencing here, which is fine. I think everything happens the way it's supposed to. But, and I've had several great relationships, more than several, and I also was looking in my spiritual book. I'm not studied with anyone per se. I'm self-realized in all my work through self-reflection, and because I studied thought and process and matter and mind for so long, I was able to break through the work that I did. But I do have one person that I read all her books, and that's Pensatia, her pen name, Helen Mary Bond, and she is a Rosicrucian mystic. And so I love her books. And so one of them was talking about in a spiritual path, a journey's path, when we have had several different relationships, what it's doing is perfecting our journey. And so most people, I think, that can relate to that is what I thought, well, maybe if we're further on the path, if we're further down the road, it's really helping perfect, because each time that we go through this, if we're paying attention to a breakup, like I did my whole life, I didn't know what I was doing after every breakup. I literally would take 3 months off in between each breakup. I've never blamed any of my breakups. I've never blamed anyone. I was never angry. I always looked for my place in it. But how can I do better? What went wrong? So I would always spend 3 months, and I wouldn't go out or do anything, and I spent time looking at the whole relationship, looking at what I did, how I reacted, he did, or she did, or whatever was going on, and then I would look at it and say, okay, so got to be better going forward, right? And so I called those transition periods. And so when I finally did my 90-day transformation, and I was asked to do a 90-day transformation on my radio show, after I'd already written the book, was already doing the radio show, Living and Growing Out Loud, I was asked to do the 90-day transformation. And I'll cut it short, but what I realized is I was just transitioning from each relationship to the next because of the word I chose. So when I did a proper 90-day transformation, committing to transform and change my life, using the book that I had already written that walked my mind out of darkness, I got the trifecta and I healed myself forward and dropped that veil and earned myself love. I saw myself. I connected to Creator in a way I never had before, and I freed myself. Now, so what happened is each time, though, I was really working on that. And you've been on a spiritual path your whole life, so I see and I hear you, how you look at things to break them down and do better. And so if what we're doing, it mirrors what she said, that you're honing your frequency, you're perfecting your spiritual walk. And so there's a little bit of a feather in your cap if you want to put it there, because I did. Does anything come to mind, Tim?
Well, I'm just thankful for what the guy upstairs or the lady upstairs with my eternal power. It just makes me so perfect. You know, I feel things and I do them, like, just yesterday I bought this big pasture below me. And God just does these miracle things to me all the time. I just lie back and let Him do the work, and it comes out perfect. You know, and my friendship with all these people is perfect too, because there's no hidden resentment, because they've gone to different spaces, and I'm just a hermit up with my goats, you know. My life is perfect. And having her and Diane and Robert even makes it better.
You're with your goats, and I'm with my dogs, and we're by the mountain, and we're happy.
Hey, I got my dogs. They're beautiful.
Yeah, I got my dog too. He's a new dog. Oh no, yeah. I mean, my dog was he was actually going to the electric chair, and we got him through a rescue, and I'm telling you, this dog is so loving, so unending love comes from this dog that you have no idea. I mean, he knows, you know, that somebody came, and they actually. I'm serious. When I saw the dog, I turned around and I said, "Man, you and me are good buddies, right?" And the tail went 1,000,000 miles an hour. And ever since that time, it took him about a week or something, and now he's like so much part of the family, and that it's unbelievable.
They are a relationship as well. And I look around, and now I have Celine and Freya and Xander and Mimi, so they're all paired up, and I'm like, you know what? I guess it's coming close to be my time. I'm on a master's path of enlightenment, but I like to do things backwards. And I read some things and I look at things, I'm like, but what can I do different in my journey? How do I know how to press through and not follow something that doesn't feel right? And so I'm always questioning forward. This true intention for me at the end of another failed relationship, falling to my knees, realizing I was the only constant in everything I created in my life. Everything, my wins, my losses, my family, my friends, my jobs, everything. I made every choice. I created my whole life. Wow. 13 weeks later, 3 months, I have the book. And that was the first sales dropping. And I knew right before I did that, I was thinking on how I was in love with my ex-husband, and I knew what it felt like to be in love. I also knew what it felt like to not be at the end of it. You know, we talk about this a lot, transformation work. People are like, why would I have picked someone who did this to me, or picked someone that wouldn't work out? The truth is, we wouldn't have if we knew. It's kind of like should, or I could do better. We're in the moment, right? We talk about it in the blog big. You know, there are spiritual connections that we're feeling that if not processed in real time, we may act on that aren't the right connection. So they last for a while, and then you move on and grow. True love is love of self, connection spirit, and then you can give to another. If I would have known that, none of this would have happened, you know, and so I would never trade one of my lives. I wouldn't trade any of my relationships. I love them all. And learning forgiveness for yourself and for others, and learning that all of it happened and we're all going through the same thing. No one's like more at fault than the other. Sometimes things happen where it technically looks that way, but the truth is it takes two to tango, and we create our lives by who we place in front of us. We talk about placement all the time in a transformation journey, where we place our thoughts and where we place our physical body, our tabernacle, our below, our mind, which is our above, right, our highest good. So until we can balance those frequencies to really have the keys to our emotional freedom and our kingdom, we are running around living on reactions and actions. A lot of transformation work, Diana can attest to this, and any of the clients I work with, anybody out there who does transformation work, it's practice. What did Diana do? She practiced. I still practice. I practice every day. And so we recover quicker. Like she said, she knew immediately. She broke every four agreement. I'll just give a caveat about anyone out there who's listening. I'm a huge proponent of the four agreements. I tell all of my clients, if you haven't read the four agreements, get the book. And by the second transformation, I make sure that they're owning those agreements so they can start practicing them because they're valid. They work. And when you open your heart bigger to them, you can catch yourself. What did Diana say? She goes, I broke every agreement. And she gave them off, and then she recovered. That is progress. That's practice, right? And just to give you a shout out, Don Miguel Ruiz Jr., who is Don Miguel's Ruiz's son, is going to be coming on the radio show soon. And he's a relationship mystic and expert, and so we're going to have some great airtime with him coming up soon. The four agreements, the Miguel, the Ruiz family are amazing Toltec healers and relationship experts. So we look forward to having them on Conscious Speaks Radio pretty soon. Diana, is anything coming to your mind from any of the conversations that were just said with Tim and I and with Bob?
I would just say keep honoring those circles that keep coming around, and that I realize that I am the one that creates my life, and how important it is to study. And the four agreements, and I can't wait until Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. comes on the show. This is all just so much great stuff.
So great. I'm so excited. I lost the show that he originally did, the pilot, at my old station, and everything happens for a reason, so it's going to be really super fun. Are you still there, Tim?
I sure am.
Do you have anything that you'd like to say to everybody before closing out?
Yes, I love you all dearly, and you're all three in my prayers and my meditations daily.
Thank you so much.
I just think the world of Diana and her rocks. I love her rocks.
I'm so excited. I thank you for your prayers. Thank you for the protection and for the goodwill. I love you too, Tim.
God bless you all.
God bless you.
Thank you, everybody out there who's listening. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Bob. We've gone over, so I don't get to play another Dawn Avery song today, but we are going to have her back on the show. We're going to play quite a few of her songs, and then we can talk to her about them and the process and what they mean to her, and really open up those doorways through her energy. And so we look forward to having her back on the show soon. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of Conscious Speaks Radio. Bob, thank you. And John, thank you down in Australia. This is Kellie. Bye.
Oh, yeah.
See you there next Monday.
Just want to remind everybody, you're on Pyramid One Radio. God bless y'all. We love you all. The world loves you all. The universe loves you all. God loves you all. God bless y'all. Bob Charles.